Today we're going to be fixing one of the most annoying iDrive glitches in these early F-Series BMWs. Currently, my iPhone is connected, as you guys can tell. My music is paused, I'm going to play it. And my sound, entertainment audio is up. And as you guys can tell, the music is playing, but there's no audio playing in the car. So BMW did offer CarPlay as a factory option back in, I think, 2016 or 2017. I know in 2018 it started to become standard with all F80, F82s, as far as my knowledge. But these 2015 ones, you're just kind of out of luck. You couldn't get CarPlay from factory. So that's when these type of things come in clutch. So the guys at Motive Supply actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted a CarPlay module for my F-Series. And, well, it was a no-brainer. Provided in this box, you have obviously the module itself, which gets tucked in underneath your dash under one of the plastics that plugs into your stock BMW infotainment screen. Then you have this whole wiring loom that, if I am correct, just plugs into your stock wiring loom and piggies off that module to allow you to have wireless CarPlay and other features. So this should be a pretty easy install. It doesn't require any soldering. You just plug it into your factory head unit and that's it. Alright, we are probably like, I don't know, 25 minutes into this install. Everything is pretty much disconnected. I still need to take off 2 Torx right there to let that screen be able to have play. I'm going to try to take off this bezel. I had issues with that clip. I don't want to break any clips. Everything here is disconnected. There's a little clip that's holding in a wire. It's not plugged into anything. It's just a placeholder that's holding that glove box down there. But everything from here is disconnected. So this right here, this little module should go into that little pocket right there, and then you just plug it into the factory head unit, and once everything is plugged in, you should technically be able to just connect to this thing. No issues, no coding, nothing. Straight up just connect to this. And obviously you're going to have to place your antenna, but after everything is placed, connect to it and have wireless CarPlay. Now, me personally, I love CarPlay. I've had CarPlay on every single one of my cars. It's usually the first thing I do. Came to the F-Series, I didn't really look into it because I didn't know that these retrofits exist. The system has been great so far. I haven't found any bugs or anything that's weird. The sound quality is just as good on CarPlay as it is on Bluetooth. I know the newer F-Series, whenever you connect to CarPlay from the BMW systems, the sound quality goes down. This one's just as clear, just as bassy, super nice and super convenient. So I didn't really show too much of the procedure on installing it. The reason for that is when I was installing it, I started at like 2 p.m. and in the winter it gets dark at like 4 p.m. This actually took me 6 hours to install, but the weather was like 28 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was super cold. If you're thinking of installing the system, don't install it at night and not in the cold. Like, that was so dumb. My fingers were barely working as soon as the sun went down and the temps dropped. You're dealing with a lot of wiring, a lot of meticulous clips and stuff, so it just gets really annoying whenever it's freezing. The install itself wasn't too difficult. If you're looking to do this, it'll probably take you like 3.5 to 4 hours. It should take you like half a day to install it. There's some really good guides on YouTube. I was just following a YouTube guide that'll run you through every single bit. Now that the car is slightly warmed up, let's get on with it. We have got here successfully. I'm gonna go grab some vinyl for the upcoming merch shop right now, and kind of go see what colors they have. There's some 2 colored stickers that I'm working on, or that design that I want to have. I know there's definitely gonna be reflective in this drop. I have quite a bit of reflective, and then I just need a buttload of white, black, and pretty much it. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of Auriful colors and kind of just see whatever I think would look good on various amounts of stickers. So let's go dip inside. I used to cut my own stickers when I was like 12, so coming to these type of places that carry so much material, it's like nostalgic. These are some crazy colors. Alright, $700 later, we are where we are at now. So I finally got all the vinyl for the merch shop. This is pretty much responsible for all the stickers for this drop. I don't know how many I'm printing just yet. I just know what colors I wanted and what colors I still have in inventory. It's been about 2 years since I did the last merch drop. That last drop, I printed over 300 stickers for promos and the actual ones that I sold. Those 300 stickers took me over 2 weeks with working full day, just grinding out like video work, and then whenever I was done video work, going and printing the stickers for the merch drop. But it took me a full 2 weeks to print that many stickers. That nowadays is just not feasible for me with how work's going and having more responsibilities on my plate. So I've outsourced to go to a vinyl shop that my buddy owns called Bridge City Wraps, and he has kindly let me rent that space and print my stickers, but on a larger scale with better machines and some help. So yeah, typically a lot of people wouldn't allow to do this. I've known Urim, the owner, for I don't know, 10 plus years. I've known him ever since I picked up a camera. Super cool of him letting me use this space. Now I should be able to just head over to his place and start cutting. So the current state of the cars is the S14's in the garage. Engine's pretty much ready to get assembled. The hot side and the cold side are now it's just a block and head mated together. I already have a standalone for the thing. All I need is a drive shaft or drive line made, custom one piece that mates the 6-speed trans to the new S15 rear diff that we're running on this thing. And then the S14 is pretty much ready to run. The Toyota Soar right here, it's back home. It's been in hibernation, to be honest with you guys, for quite some time. There's nothing really wrong with this thing besides needing some buttoning up. The harness needs to get tucked up. Obviously these front wheels are 10.5s, not running those. So the smaller front wheels need to go in the front, and some suspension needs to get tweaked with ride height. But besides that, the power plant and everything on this thing is solid. This car is honestly super easy to get up and rolling again to go drive. So that's my next plan of attack with cars, is get the Soar kitted up and wide body installed. Little segment to catch you guys up on life. But yeah, this is the Soar, big chillin'. S14's big chillin'. We'll see where it goes from here. So thank you for watching if you stuck through to the end. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.
Yeah, kid, you don't stop.